So let's talk about inspiration. When I feel inspired to create a new collection, it's not your normal route of inspiration, but every artist has a different way that they get inspired to create. My method usually comes from connotations or a certain word or a feeling or something that comes to me and also gives me some kind of vision. With that, I transpose it. So I might have that word to base off of, or I might have the envision or something that's just been called to me to bring out and visualize and put into clothing. So I have a twofold inspiration, is how I would describe it. My inspiration usually has a surface level, so something that you can relate to visually. And then the second half is that deeper connotation. What can we go into to create a story around the clothing, around the person who's going to wear it, to make the connection that you need in order to exude who you actually are? So, for example, our Flourish collection, the inspiration behind it, surface level, is the desert. You go from one point of a desert where there is no vegetation, it's completely arid, extremely harsh conditions, and as you journey throughout the desert, you might come to another portion of the desert. It might be an oasis, or it might just open up into a field with a lot more vegetation, a lot more plant life or animal life there. So the visual surface is that journey through from one part of the environment to the next. Taking a deeper look at it, you would see a man's journey. And within that man's journey is not just as a state of mind or a state of being or progression, but it could be a progression of his life. He has been put in one position where he feels lost, desolate, and just struggling to get to where he wants to be. And you move from that portion, and you continually, as you're going through your journey, you might get to the next field or the next plane where it opens up into a lush environment. The way I have described it is that not just a walking journey, but envisioning himself as a seed, as a plant to come to be, that goes into a transition of, okay, you have been dropped from your mother plant and you have been picked up by the wind, by water, by elements and whatever have you, and you end up being planted. So this place of plantation could be the place of vegetation, or it could be outside of the place of vegetation that you end up becoming and helping aid to become another place where many others would flourish. It would just depend on your journey. So you've been planted, you grow, you succeed, you flourish, you thrive, you make a way to get to the point that you want to be in your life. So that's what Flourish is about. And that just gives you an example of how my inspiration works from surface to deep. I'm all about deep connections with people as well as with any inspiration and how I design my collections. It's definitely very important to share that with you, but also just to share it with one another. We each, again, have a journey. We each have a story to tell, but most of us are scared or shy to the point that we don't want to share the most vulnerable parts of ourselves. And it's very important to do.